Hello everybody. If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 364, The Misadventures of Mr. Pufflewick. Upper Intermediate. In the bustling town of Merrywood, there lived an eccentric and delightfully clumsy man named Mr. Pufflewick. Known for his peculiar fashion sense, often sporting mismatched socks and a bowler hat tilted at an odd angle, he was a constant source of amusement for the townsfolk. Despite his quirky nature, Mr. Pufflewick had a heart of gold and an unyielding optimism that endeared him to everyone. Mr. Pufflewick worked as a librarian at the local library, a place where books seemed to have a mind of their own and often found themselves in unexpected places. One Tuesday morning, Mr. Pufflewick arrived at the library with his usual cheerful demeanour, ready to tackle whatever surprises the day might bring. As he stepped inside, he noticed something strange. Books were scattered haphazardly across the floor, and the normally orderly shelves looked as if they had been rearranged by a tornado. Puzzled but undeterred, Mr. Pufflewick began to pick up the books, humming a tuneless melody as he went. Just as he was about to reshelve a particularly large volume of encyclopedias, a loud crash echoed through the library. Startled, Mr. Pufflewick spun round, only to see a mountain of books teetering precariously before collapsing in a chaotic heap. At the centre of the mess stood a wide-eyed young woman clutching a tattered map. "Good heavens!" exclaimed Mr. Pufflewick. "Are you all right?" The woman, trying to extricate herself from the pile, nodded sheepishly. "Oh, I'm so sorry. I was looking for the travel section and I tripped over that stack of books." "Not to worry, my dear," said Mr. Pufflewick with a grin. "It happens to the best of us. Let me help you." After several minutes of untangling and reshelving, Mr. Pufflewick and the woman, who introduced herself as Emily, finally restored a semblance of order to the library. As they worked, Emily explained that she was planning a trip around the world and was seeking inspiration from travel books. "How wonderful," said Mr. Pufflewick, his eyes twinkling with excitement. "I once dreamed of travelling the world myself, but alas, I never quite got around to it. Perhaps you can tell me all about your adventures when you return." Emily smiled warmly. "I'd love to, and who knows, maybe you'll decide to embark on your own journey someday." As the day continued, Mr. Pufflewick's clumsiness seemed to reach new heights. He accidentally knocked over a display of new arrivals, sending books flying in all directions. He mistook a potted plant for a misplaced book and attempted to reshelve it, only to realize his mistake when dirt began to spill from the pot. The library's resident cat, Whiskers, took advantage of the chaos to sneak into the restricted archives, requiring a daring rescue mission by Mr. Pufflewick. Despite the mishaps, Mr. Pufflewick remained unfailingly cheerful and greeted each challenge with a laugh and a shrug, his optimism shining through even the most chaotic moments. The townsfolk who visited the library couldn't help but be charmed by his antics, and often left with a smile on their faces. One particularly memorable incident occurred when Mr. Pufflewick decided to host a literary costume day at the library, encouraging everyone to come dressed as their favourite literary characters. He himself donned a rather extravagant Sherlock Holmes costume, complete with a deerstalker hat and a magnifying glass. The event was a roaring success, with townsfolk of all ages arriving in creative and imaginative costumes. There was a dashing Mr. Darcy, a formidable Captain Ahab, and even a mischievous Puck from A Midsummer Night's Dream. Laughter filled the library as people swapped stories and admired each other's outfits. In the midst of the festivities, Mr. Pufflewick noticed a peculiar character lurking near the mystery section. The figure was dressed in a dark cloak and a wide-brimmed hat, their face obscured by shadows. Sensing an opportunity for some playful detective work, Mr. Pufflewick approached the mysterious individual with a theatrical flair. "Aha! A mystery within a mystery," he declared, pointing his magnifying glass dramatically. "Reveal yourself, fiend!" To his surprise, the cloaked figure burst into laughter and threw back their hood to reveal the familiar face of Mayor Hargrove. "You got me, Pufflewick," the mayor said, shaking with laughter. "I thought I'd add a bit of intrigue to the event." Mr. Pufflewick joined in the laughter, delighted by the mayor's participation. The event continued well into the evening, with everyone agreeing it was the most enjoyable day the library had ever seen. As the years went by, Mr. Pufflewick's misadventures became the stuff of local legend. Stories of his clumsiness and unwavering optimism were passed down from generation to generation, and the library became a cherished institution in Merrywood. And while Mr. Pufflewick never did embark on a journey around the world, he found that his true adventure was right there in the heart of his beloved town, surrounded by books and the people who made life so wonderfully unpredictable. Vocabulary notes: eccentric, adjective, definition, unconventional and slightly strange. Example: Mr. Pufflewick was known for his peculiar fashion sense, often sporting mismatched socks and a bowler hat tilted at an odd angle. Similar words: quirky, odd, unconventional, whimsical. Clumsy, adjective, definition, awkward in movement or in handling things. Example: despite his quirky nature, Mr. Pufflewick had a heart of gold and an unyielding optimism that endeared him to everyone. Similar words: awkward, ungainly, uncoordinated. Mishap, noun, definition, an unlucky accident. Example: as the day continued, Mr. Pufflewick's clumsiness seemed to reach new heights. Similar words: accident, blunder, misfortune. Disarray, noun, definition, a state of disorganization or untidiness. Example: books were scattered haphazardly across the floor, and the normally orderly shelves looked as if they had been rearranged by a tornado. Similar words: disorder, chaos, mess. Sheepishly, adverb, definition, in an embarrassed manner due to shame or lack of self-confidence. Example: the woman trying to extricate herself from the pile nodded sheepishly. Similar words: bashfully, abashedly, timidly. Semblance, noun, definition, the outward appearance or apparent form of something, especially when the reality is different. Example: after several minutes of untangling and reshelving, Mr. Pufflewick and the woman finally restored a semblance of order to the library. Similar words: appearance, facade, veneer. Extravagant, adjective, definition, lacking restraint in spending money or using resources, costing too much, exceeding what is reasonable. Example: encouraging everyone to come dressed as their favorite literary characters, he himself donned a rather extravagant Sherlock Holmes costume. Similar words: lavish, excessive, over the top. Intrigue, noun, definition, the secret planning of something illicit or detrimental, the quality of being intriguing or interesting. Example: I thought I'd add a bit of intrigue to the event, the mayor said, shaking with laughter. Similar words: mystery, fascination, plot. Theatrical, adjective, definition, relating to the theatre or dramatic performances, exaggerated and excessively dramatic. Example: sensing an opportunity for some playful detective work, Mr. Pufflewick approached the mysterious individual with a theatrical flair. Similar words: dramatic, flamboyant, exaggerated. Unwavering, adjective. Definition: steady or resolute, not wavering. Example: despite the mishaps, Mr. Pufflewick remained unfailingly cheerful. Similar words: steadfast, resolute, unshakable. Story written by Copilot AI. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Hello, this is Steve. If you enjoyed the story, please would you take the time to leave a meaningful comment and click on the like icon. If you want to know when the next story has been uploaded, please click on the notify bell icon to be notified. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and tell your English learning friends so they can benefit too. Thank you.